and we put it on, and the beginning sequence of the film was so spooky that we turned the film off and then watched it 5 years later.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't go down there if I was you. We were Hocus Pocus. I don't think you'd enjoy those elements.
If you could go back and tell yourself not to watch it because it's a waste of time, would you?
No.
Right, okay.
No, but I don't think you would enjoy it. Not as much as I did. And I think if you're going to enjoy it any less than I did, you're wasting your time. Hello, people. Welcome to Six and Critics, the podcast. Yeah, I'm not. That's as much as you're getting of that, I'm afraid. I'm going to keep it here, though.
You keep it there. That one's just creepy as anything.
Yeah.
I'm not using that.
If you're wondering why it sounded weird because you're not watching this, you're listening to it because we had a mask on. So there's a little reason to watch the YouTube when it comes out the Monday after now you're listening. But as I was saying, welcome to Six and Critics, the podcast. We're going to give you some film reviews to begin with. Then we're going to go into series. Then after that, we're going to go into some spooky horror stuff because it's Halloween. You should be getting this episode on Halloween. I believe you will be getting it on Halloween. I am the host. I am Kane. I'm also Born for Goodness on Instagram. With me, I've also got John Joseph III, who likes to go by
John Joe.
John Joe this week. No John this week.
Definitely no John. It didn't fit.
No, I didn't like it. Definitely,
most people don't.
Yeah, I like John Joe. Okie dokie. So let's kick it off. So as I said, it's a Halloween special. I've got here, funny enough, the Lovely Bones. Or is it Lonely?
Oh, Lovely Bones.
Yeah, the Lovely Bones.
Yes.
John Joe, this film was nothing. Nothing.
It's a good film.
Bro. It's not an awful film, but it's nothing like Trauma.
Yes, it is.
Bro.
Yes, it is.
How?
It's so much like Trauma.
How?
Because of the whole, like, having to deal with one thing that you've thought, like, has happened kind of thing, and you've had to, like, come back to it. I don't know. I see the connection.
Yeah, bro. Me and everybody else is waiting for you to explain the connection. When's the last time you watched this film, bro?
Not that long ago.
Bro, the film came out in 2009, you know. Did you watch it in 2009?
Maybe I watched it like 2012, 2013.
Oh my gosh. 10 years ago, the film, you know.
Similar. It's a similar film.
Bro, it's nothing.
It's a similar film.
No, bro. It's not. But the Lovely Bones, is it?
Yes.
The Lovely Bones on its own is an okay film.
Okay.
It's an okay film. I also enjoyed seeing Rachel Weisz, out of The Mummy. Rachel Weisz.
Who does she play?
The Mummy. And out of The Mummy. She's like the love interest.
No, but who does she play in?
The mother. Mark Wahlberg's wife. You didn't realise that?
No.
Yeah, man. I couldn't forget her. I'm not going to say anything else. But yeah, man, like, I liked that aspect. In the end, I didn't leave, like, gripped. I like the idea that, you know, what's going on in there and what it means, but yeah, man. Nah, I wasn't too satisfied in the end, really. No.
Okay.
I'm going to finish on a 6.
Oh, that's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
Not that bad, especially
Maybe
from
I'm
a
too
film
generous.
from 2009.
You know what? Maybe if it was modernized, it could have crept up because the actual idea of what's going on and also how it starts, and also the main actress as well. She's really good.
I think that's when she was at a peak though, and she was getting put in loads of films and stuff.
You're saying that she's passed.
No, but you don't see as many films now.
John Joe said, "You've had your time," and John Joe has spoken. You know, I was going to ask you about the film, but you saw it 10 years ago. You know, her eyes, they look like contacts. They're so blue.
No, I'm sure that's
really?
Right. Yeah, I think that's
wow.
Right. Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, man, her eyes were a lot better than the rest of the film, to say the least.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what it is? I was watching the film like, okay, waiting for it to get like Trauma. Still waiting. And I just felt like it never got there.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll need to revisit the film then.
Yeah, well, if you want to. You know what? Has this made up for, I don't even remember the film now, that really bad one I told you to watch? You remember, with the car and stuff? You're like, oh, this is a waste of time. Why'd you tell me to watch it? Do you remember? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to remember, but I feel like it's made up for that.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah?
Let's say that and we'll just agree to... Yeah.
Agree. Let's agree to agree.
Let's agree
to agree. Let's agree to agree.
Yeah.
What have you watched, bro? Tell me something.
So because it's obviously a Halloween episode and all that, I went with quite a lot of like, you know, horror films and like certain films like that. There's one on Netflix which is Fear Street.
Ooh, okay.
And Fear Street is a bit of a different kind of take on a horror film.
Is it
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
But it is pretty brutal as well.
Oh.
Which you don't expect from like, you know, you normally see
typical
like
teen films. Yeah,
it's not as like brutal kind of thing. So you've got one, which is 1994.
Oh, wow.
You've got two, which is 1986.
Okay, yeah, two's like, okay.
Or 1880. No, yeah, 1986.
Yeah.
And then you got 3, which is 1666.
Right, okay. So that's when they're set.
So that's when they're set.
Because at first I thought that's when they were made.
No.
And I was really confused.
No, that's when they're set.
Right,
So
okay.
obviously you've got 1 is like the first bit. And what's good about it is they're all connected.
Right.
So once you finish the first one, it goes straight into the second one.
Oh, really?
And once you finish the second one, it goes straight into the third one.
Like Lord of the Rings?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, bro. you keep saying stuff like that, you're going to lose all your, like, accreditations, bro.
I have accreditations. Let's not get into
Bro,
that.
it's crazy you've not seen Lord of the Rings, but it's a horror episode, so we won't get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so carry on talking.
It was good because I think as a whole, if you just have one film on its own, it wouldn't be that great.
Okay.
But I liked the fact that they were all connected and it got to an end, like goal kind of thing, or like got to like a resolution.
Yeah, like a finale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very cultish and very like witchy as well. I think I'd recommend to watch it just because that, like I said, it's interesting. It's 3 films that are consecutive, but also set in different years.
Do you know when they came out?
I think it was on last year, you know.
All of them?
Yeah.
In 1 year?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they released them pretty much straight away, I think.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Don't
And
know that happening too much.
it doesn't matter because it's no like thing to the plot or anything. My Hawk was in it.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it was after Stranger Things, before Stranger Things. I don't really know.
Is it a Netflix original or does it come from Netflix?
I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah.
So
See,
sure.
I knew you mentioned First Street before.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. And then I thought maybe, I thought like if I saw like First Street 2 on Netflix and I thought, oh, because you know how Netflix only has one film at a time.
Sometimes.
So I just thought only 2 was on Netflix.
All three
are on Netflix. That's okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd give it a go.
Yeah.
I'd say
Is it spooky? You're gonna say no, aren't you?
it is a little bit spooky. Yeah.
All right.
It's a little bit spooky.
Okay. Because I want things to be scary. I want because it's Halloween episode. I want people to go, well, as scary as they can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's certain parts that people might obviously find scary or that might make them jump and stuff.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say a mad horror that like you're gonna be jumping every so often. It's more the story wise kind of things. Rating wise, I'd say if it was one film on its own, you'd be looking at about a 4.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
but because they're all connected and they get to like an end goal kind of thing.
Yeah, they work together as a trilogy.
Yeah, I think on their own they just don't stand kind of thing. I would say altogether.
Kind of like when you try and make a deck of cards. They
like
need to all to be together. Yeah, they all need
Yeah.
to be together to. Sorry, it's just the first that came to
No,
mind.
it's
That's what I
cool
shared.
analogy. Cool analogy.
Cool analogy. But yeah, as a collective, they work really well.
Yeah, I'd go with like a 7.6.
7.6. Okay.
Because they all come together and it makes sense.
How long are the films?
Hour and 40, hour and 50.
Each one, roughly about that?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if there were 2 hours each, 2 hours of
bit
4
long.
and 2 hours of 5,
Yeah.
and then eventually another 2 hours that make it a 7.5 altogether, I would have went like,
No.
But I can entertain it. I realised an hour and a half film is actually quite quick.
Yeah, and they fly by really quick as well. It's one of them.
Go on.
Halloween ends.
Bro, I have no expectations for
For
this film.
fans of Halloween, don't see this film.
Oh, really?
Don't see the film.
Oh, no.
I was this close to walking out.
Yeah.
This close.
Wow.
It's so bad, and it shouldn't have been.
Right? So why shouldn't it have been?
Because with what they were trying to do, and they were trying to like, be fan pleasers, and they were trying to make it for the fans, they just got it completely wrong.
Would you say you're a fan?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But I know I went with somebody who's a big fan.
Okay. Because I was
And
looking how do you know?
Yeah. Even
okay.
he said, and he sent it to like us in a group chat, was like, oh, guys, please sign this petition to get it reshot.
Really?
Like it was that bad. And
reshot? Wow.
Yeah. Like to redo the whole film again.
Wow.
So it's
That
kind
is
of
crazy.
like, if fans are saying that it's that bad, surely.
How can you make it for the fans and the fans are so unhappy?
Exactly.
But then, that being said, is it one of those where like so many fans wanted this and so many fans wanted that?
No.
The fans had a penultimate agreement on what they expected from this ending.
Yeah.
And it was a miss.
Yeah. It's complete miss. Complete miss.
So you watching it as almost like a solo film? Because I know we've seen the odd Halloween here and
we
there.
see
So
it as a
I'd be
short
watching it as a solo film
Yeah.
because I don't know of the series of films. Was it bad on its own as well? It was really?
Yeah, it made no sense.
Really?
It was just, it was all over the place. Probably give it a 2.
A 2, John Joe.
And for Halloween, that's really bad when you think about it. I'm pretty sure the last Halloween we seen
was all right.
It's not the last one, the one before.
Yeah.
I think I gave that really low rating.
Yeah, like what you gave it like 6, 7?
I think it was like a 5.
Yeah. But that's a huge drop. I know 5 says I wasn't overly pleased, but 2 says it was very, very poor. Wow. Yeesh. All right, well, that's me saving some money.
Okay, good.
Yeah, man. And that's the end. Well, it's really, it's really sad if they don't reshoot it. That'll be how. Because it's been going on for decades, Halloween. Like 80s.
Yeah, it's the end. Like, they can't go back from it.
Maybe that's maybe they did it on purpose.
Maybe.
Like, this is the end.
But they could have done it better.
Could have done it better. I always feel like, no, nowadays, if a film is really good, no matter how much it's meant to be the last film, they won't make any more because there's money to be made. Like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Like, give it another 5 years and they'll make another one.
Yeah, because there's money to be made, man.
Come on.
If there's money to be made, it will continue going. Wow, that's sad. That's sad. I'm gonna go on to a horror film that I've seen recently that really blew my socks off. To be fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me put my socks back on. Not joking. I don't know why I'm making all these jokes this week. Yeah, but I'm feeling it's good. I'm ready to pod.
Yeah.
But the pretty thing that lives inside your house. Netflix
is Matt Smith in that?
No.
Maybe it's different.
The reason why I said no like that is because I feel like I know a film with a similar title that has Matt Smith in it.
Right. Okay.
But no, it's definitely not that film. Little backstory of this film, yeah.
Okay.
Me and Alana were gonna watch it about 3-4 years ago. So it's been on Netflix for a little while. It's been on Netflix for at least 5 years. And we put it on, and the beginning secrets of the film was so spooky that we turned the film off and then watched it 5 years later.
Oh.
Yeah, man. So if you're watching the beginning of this film and think, this isn't even that scary. Maybe 5 years ago you would have found it scarier, okay? But either way, it's creepy, bro. And it's, you know what I really like about it? It's really artistically slow and creepy. It's set like in about, the 80s, 70s. But it's not like 80s where it's all mundane and grey and brown.
Yeah.
It's actually quite show-homey. It's quite nice. And then it just follows this story of what is the spooky thing. Because from the title, you can tell that's the narrator, that's the main character. The main character is what is scary in the film. So the whole time you're like, how does the main character become the scary thing?
Yeah.
And it does that in a really weird way. Yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It's everything I want for a horror for me. And I finished on an 8.3.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's really high.
Yeah. I feel like I would say that you're one of those people that find it hard to be scared. I don't know if it would I don't know if it would necessarily 100% scare you. But if you're like me, who's like, I'd say I'm like, say you're a heavyweight in the horror game. Like, you know, it's hard to knock you out. It's hard to get you scared.
Okay, yeah.
I'd say I'm like a middle heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of horror films and I'm not easily spooked.
Yeah, you're used to a lot of things.
Yeah,
and you can,
this still had me pretty scared at some points. Even after the 5-year gap, when I tried to mature, I was still pretty scared.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Was it a big cast? Was it like
no, small cast? I'd say about 5 people. 5 people in the whole thing. Like maybe 5 to 10 people. You know, you can get like a lot of people, loads of different people coming in. It's actually quite based around this house, what's going on inside the house and that. It's good, man. Check it out.
Sounds
the pretty thing that lives inside your house.
Okay.
I want to go into Mr. Harrigan's phone.
Yeah.
John Joe, the review you gave this film, bro.
It was an accurate review.
Bro, you said it was the worst film you've ever seen.
It was a bad film.
It was, all right, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it was a little bit brutal. Don't worry though.
Okay.
I didn't think it was a good film or a great film. I think it should have been a shorter film or it should have been like an episode of something. I feel like, because it's based on Stephen King.
Okay, yeah.
So what I think production companies do, they go, Stephen King film or Stephen King idea, great. And I think when you go, by Stephen King, based on a novel by Stephen King, it sells.
Yeah, because people want to see what they've done with it because obviously how well known he is.
Exactly. It's huge, right? So I think they got this story and they were like, okay, let's stretch this into a film. And I think when they stretched it into a film, it lost loads of scary elements because it was like loads of just like time wasting and slow transitions. I think it was a poor choice what they did with the actor and like the age way of.
That's what I was saying to you. Like, if it would have been an actor that was older, or if they kept changing the actor to show how long it had been, that would have been fine.
Yeah, but
I still think the story didn't really make sense.
Completely agree, bro. I completely agree. I think it would have been better if it was like a, like Goosebumps.
Yeah,
like an episode of Goosebumps.
Right, so like an anthology kind of thing where it's just one thing on its own.
That's what it feels like it is. Because the whole premise of like what happens in it and where it goes and what it means, it's like a It's like a short story with a beware of that in the future. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It didn't need to be a film.
No, it really didn't.
Yeah.
What was your rating in the end then?
My rating was 4.8.
I still think that's extremely high.
Right. I feel like, okay, let me ask you about your ratings a little bit. Just give people an explanation. What's your average? 0 to 10, what would you say your average is?
My average is probably about a 6.
Okay. And so, okay, that's fair. So my average I'd say is about 4. So my average is 5.
Okay.
So if I say something's 5, I'd say it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
nothing more.
Yeah.
And even then, even if I say it's okay, I mean, it might be okay elements to a bad film that in the end I've left going, I've enjoyed parts of this film.
Okay.
Being a 4.8 to me says it's not a good film, but it's not the worst film I've ever seen.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So you're saying it could have had better elements that would have made it a better film?
I think if it was sold differently. Say, for example, there's a film with Martin Freeman. I think it's called Ghost Stories. Something
That
like
does sound
that.
familiar.
Yeah, that's really good, you know. That's really good. And I think it's got like 2 or 3 stories in one film. If it was part of like that, it would have been good.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't think the story's a bad idea. I don't think the plot. I don't think the act. I don't think anything's bad. It was just. I just don't think it should have been a film.
Yeah, like it was just too long and they dragged it out too much.
It didn't translate well as a film. That's why I thought it's not good, but it's not the film's fault. It's bad. Do you know what I mean? It was someone's decision to make that into a 2-hour, hour and a half film. It wasn't a good idea.
Maybe I was probably annoyed at the time I've wasted on it then.
Yeah, of
maybe
course.
it was that.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was short, I wouldn't have cared.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, if
okay,
it was like I
okay.
said, if it was an episode, say like it was an episode and it's a spooky story every time, you'd have been like, oh yeah, cool. Like, it didn't really ring home for me, but you wouldn't have been like as annoyed. But to commit that much time to what shouldn't be a film, you go, what was
Especially
this?
when it doesn't end with anything. It doesn't give you a final thing to it.
It's just like beware.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. Give me something. What have you watched? Film-wise?
There's another one that was on Disney Plus
Okay.
called Grimcutty.
Ooh.
If you look at the actual like picture
Yeah.
on Disney Plus and you see it, it looks cool.
Right.
Like you're thinking, oh, that's scary. Like it's a creepy face. But then watching it, it looks stupid.
Really?
Do you remember the MoMo challenge?
Yeah.
Whereas that creepy face,
Yeah.
it's basically that, but they've made it into a film and obviously changed the name and stuff.
Right.
It was kind of like online, you know, like beware of being online, and this whole idea of adding hysteria to something gives it power.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's that kind of aspect to it.
Right.
The acting was good, and I think a lot of the cast worked real well together. But I couldn't get past the actual monster.
Yo, bro, and in a horror that's important, you know.
Yeah.
It's like going to a like a sci-fi film and the effects don't bang.
Yeah.
It's just you can't believe the story if it's not like you can't see it.
You want it to be realistic.
Yeah.
You want to see it and go, okay, that's scary because I can picture it happening.
Yeah, that sounds. Oh, I'd hate to be in that situation.
Yeah, this just was like, what am I watching here?
Disney Plus again.
Yeah. Yeah.
After Werewolf by Night as well. What's going on here? What's going on?
Like I said, Werewolf by Night had its pluses,
Ted.
but it just didn't need the werewolf.
Shout out Ted.
Ted's cool.
Grimcutty.
Grimcutty.
So obviously they're saying that the actual creature wasn't scary. Everything else though, how was that?
Was okay. Like the message they were trying to portray was a good message to portray.
Okay.
The way they explained it made sense. And then when you get to the end, it actually solidified it a bit more.
Yeah.
But I think it would have hit more and would have been scarier if it was scarier.
If it was scary.
Yeah.
Oh man. How can a horror film be good if it's not scary? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I've watched a few horror films, and that's why it's smart to do psychological or horror thrillers, because you can go, I wasn't scared, but the plot and the twist.
It's interesting.
Yeah, but when
you like watching
horror
it.
dramas they've got a lot to do. It's like I always talk about this with acting comedians. Actors are designed to make you feel something. Comedians are designed to make you laugh.
Okay.
And it's a lot harder to be a comedian because you got one job. Your job is to create one emotion.
Yeah.
If you create any other emotion, you've failed your job. As an actor, your job is to make someone feel something.
But it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
It just feels something.
You can leave a film and go, I was disgusted. What a great film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Where and I feel like with a horror, they've got to hit that it has to be scary. Like if it's a horror drama, it has to be scary because that's the only.
That's all
thing,
they've got to like settle it. And
that's
like,
all you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Wow. What's your final rating?
A 4.
A 4. Okay.
I was going to push it to a 5, but the acting didn't save it that much.
Right. Okay.
So I recommend people to watch it. Maybe more of a younger crowd though. I'd probably say from like 16 to 19.
Is it a teen film?
Yes and no. It's got its adult elements, but obviously it's also got its like kid elements because it's the like dangers being online and
How old is the main character?
I want to say 17 or 18.
Right. Okay. Is there only one, or is it more than one protagonist?
There's a younger brother,
right,
and he's about probably 13.
Okay, so that definitely gives me like teeny vibes.
But it obviously focuses on the parents as well.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I've got another well, I just realised I've got 3 Stephen King stuff on here. I just didn't realise that. But again, horror, so no surprise. I'm gonna go to Pet Sematary.
Yes.
So obviously we've both seen the first Pet Sematary.
We have.
So quickly go over that. Not the first Pet Sematary, the most recent Pet Sematary.
Recent one, yeah.
Get your opinion on it first, because obviously I love it.
I'm pretty sure when I gave my review for it ages ago, I didn't like it.
Really?
And I think the only thing that scared me was because it was out of nowhere, was the truck.
At the beginning.
And that's obviously, it scares all of us.
Yeah,
because you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I don't think it's that good.
Wow.
But maybe it's because I've not seen it for a while.
You know what? Yeah. I've always liked it. I've always liked it because it's got that not mystery. It's got that thriller element to it.
Yeah.
Because all the way through, you're like, okay, this leads to this, and what does that lead to, and where's it going, and what happens, and it's just I think it's got a really good plot. Now, I didn't realize that the first one, being in 1989, is so different.
So I've never seen the original.
Yeah, so it starts off really similar. A lot of stuff about the truck and blah, 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 blah. And then this guy shows him this and this and this. And that all is very similar.
Yeah.
And then about 65% in, they just go 2 different ways. And I definitely, even though it's obviously an old film and, it's even the acting and stuff is very like corny. I wouldn't go down there if I was you. Like it's very corny. So obviously that's not aged very well. So that took the ratings down. But I think the choice that they decided to go with the newer one is what makes it scarier. Because just how different characters involved, it makes them, because it's similar family. Yeah. There's a young boy, older sister, mom and dad, and a neighbor. All that is all the same. So the same characters just decided to change the pieces round. For the first one in 89, I ended on a 5.5. Now, I don't know, because I've never read the book, I don't know which one is the original in the sense of
what choice they make.
How Stephen King wrote it. You'd imagine, or you'd think that the first one in 89 was quite close. Yeah. But I'm not sure. But yeah, wasn't bad. It was corny at points. But it was my mum, I remember mum saying that she found it quite scary when she was younger.
Yeah,
because she would have watched it when she was like 19, something like that. So maybe it would have been scary if I watched it back then. But the newer version, I've always thought was great. I got the newer version down as an 8.1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to go back to it then. Maybe I'll watch the first one and the second one.
Bro, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how good it is,
Really?
Yeah, bro. Personally. I don't want to go, yeah, man, it's really good. And I don't want to fill you with loads of expectations.
Yeah.
But I think, what do you think your rating was last time? Like a 6?
I'm sure it was like a 6 or a 5.
I'll be very surprised if you give it a 6.
Okay. Maybe I'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'll go into my final Stephen King film, which is The Firestarter.
Wait, is this the
Zac
one
Efron.
Zac Efron?
Yes.
I did want to see this film.
I know you did.
I did want to see it.
And it's very up your street.
Okay.
Very up your street. I think you'd... Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's like, as in like... Well, yeah, I'm saying that like, I think you would enjoy this film.
Okay.
And I don't think it's a bad film.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a good film. I don't think it's a great film, should I say. Firestarter. Really enjoyed the beginning. I really enjoyed the beginning. I thought Zac Efron was great. Ryan, Kira. Armstrong.
Is that the kid?
That's the girl, yeah. I thought she was really good in it as well. She actually holds up a lot of the film on her own. And that was not a letdown. She did her job.
Yeah.
What was a letdown is it kind of starts off with this story. Cool, I was on board. I like it. Then it starts to expand. As it expands, it starts to give more backstory. And then it expands again. And I'm getting more of like a better idea of what's going on and how big this plot is. But at the same time, I'm thinking, I needed more backstory. You know, I needed more foundations
Wouldn't
before
that
you
have gone
decided.
on for too long, though? Do you not think?
It's a short film, bro.
Oh, right,
It's an hour and 34 minutes, and that includes the credits. Yeah. It should have been either a longer film or a series of films.
Okay.
But that being said, I think the ending kind of leaves it open for a second film. Potentially, but the second film would take a completely different plot. Kind of.
Surely they'd have to do it where the girl's older, or they'd have to do something like that. Yeah.
But I think you'd really like it.
I do want to watch it, so I will get around to watching it at some point.
Some of it's good, some of it's really good, and then some of this CGI, the VFX, just falls a bit short.
I think that's the same with a lot of films now, though.
Why?
I don't know.
In
I think
this
it's the
modern
way they've
age-
changed to make it look real, but
VFX guys are overworked.
maybe.
There's not enough of them. Where are the VFX guys? Yeah, man. That let it down a little bit. That let it down a little bit. At the end, I kind of went, I wonder if this film's budget was 80% Zac Efron.
Oh.
Well, not 80%.
But it'd be a massive chunk of it.
Because he's not cheap.
He's a big actor.
He's not cheap.
No,
and I think a lot of people, I know that when I first saw the trailer, when I saw Zac Efron was in it, I was like, Zac Efron's in it. That's because I'm curious, you know? Not because I love him.
No, you've not seen him in a lot of films, and he always pops up every so often.
Yeah, and he doesn't do horror films.
No.
I've seen him in a few, like, rom-coms and comedies and teeny stuff, not horrible bosses. What's it called? Neighbours? Bad Neighbours.
Bad Neighbours, and you've got Baywatch as well.
There you go. So I was like, Zac Efron in a horror. Where's this going? Yeah, just fell a little bit short. I got it on a 6.6.
Okay. I thought that would have been higher.
Nah. Where it fell short, like, because if you think it like this way, I'm like, literally, and up until when it got too much, I stopped enjoying the film at that point. Really, I really did. And even, I can't even lie, the ending was a bit wishy-washy. Like, I
would have thought it, especially a Stephen King film, they kind of like always get to a certain point and it's like, oh my God, it's like, you know.
Yeah, like Carrie, Huge, Perfect Storm. Yeah. Like, there's loads of like penultimate endings normally. Cujo, Christine. I know my Stephen King films. I do.
I didn't know that many.
Yeah, bro. I wish we played that game. Why? So I could win. What would have been the point in that? But yeah, man, it was a little bit of a letdown. It was a film that I was kind of looking forward to as well.
I was really looking forward to it. I'm sure I sent it to like all of us and just said, we need to go and see this film.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah.
I had no intention of watching it. It just so happened to come up after I watched Pet Sematary and stuff, and I was like, yeah, why not?
Okay.
And then I was like, yeah. What you got? Give me some of your films again.
I don't know if we can really class this as in the whole horror thing. Hocus Pocus 2.
It's a Halloween thing.
Halloween, not really a horror though. Did you get around to watching it?
No, man.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't want to say much about it.
I think because I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
Because what happens on the edge of our seat for Hocus Pocus?
It wasn't as good as the first one. I think everyone has the same consensus.
I'm struggling to take you serious.
I know you are. You know what? I'm not going to talk about Hocus Pocus.
No.
We'll wait until you've watched it. It's fine.
I'm sorry.
We'll wait until you've watched it and we'll come back to it.
No, dude.
I will give it a...
No, don't skip to the end.
I will give it a 5.4.
Oh, wow.
And that is the most I will say about that film.
Fans are going to be writing, we went Hocus Pocus. What was wrong with it? Wait, is it nostalgia?
Maybe, but it just wasn't a good story either.
Hocus Pocus. I don't know it that well, you know. I'm really thinking about it. It's about witches, right?
Yeah.
After that, I don't think I've even seen the first one.
Wow.
So, same characters?
Yeah. Well, some of them.
Okay.
Not all of them.
Main cast then?
Yeah.
Main cast from Hocus Pocus 1.
No, it's the main witches, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, just them. That's it.
Right, and then it goes into the second one. Is there an explanation why there's a second one? Is it set after? Is it set?
It's set after, but there's not really much explanation to it. It's more just they've done another film. It's kind of this has happened. Oh no!
If it came out at the same time, like a year or two later, instead of it's like what? How long? Hocus Pocus came out in the 90s.
Yeah, I think it's about 20 years.
Okay, so if it came out like 2-3 years after Hocus Pocus 1, do you think it would have been
No.
No,
No, I think it needed the time.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure it's one of the laws of them. It has to be a certain amount of years or something.
Oh, is it like the witches can come around every so many years?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Okay. So and is that explained in the film then? So they made that up?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
What did you need for it to be a better film?
Probably more nostalgia. Might have been better if it had the main cast. And...
You know what would have been good if I'd seen this film before and then I was watching it again? That would have been good.
Yeah.
Maybe you enjoy it more the second time.
No. I wouldn't watch it again, to be honest.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who were looking forward to this film as well.
Really were, yeah. Especially people born in the 90s, like 1994-ish.
Yeah.
I think everyone had the same thing though, of it being it wasn't as good.
Can you think of any film that's made another film 20 years on, a decade plus, and it's I'm happy they made another one in this film. I've really enjoyed it. I think I've got two.
What are your two?
I'm not sure if it's 10 year plus. I think one definitely is, which I'd say Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, or something, or the Lost Crystal Skull. I can't remember what it's called. I did not mind that Indiana Jones film.
Never seen it.
Well, I love Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade, and I forgot what the last one's called. I want to say Terror or something. But anyway, that last film, I love Indiana Jones, and that last one, I thought, why are they going with this? And then also Shia LaBeouf was in it, and I was like, what?
Oh, okay.
But it was good. It was good enough.
Yeah.
I wasn't disappointed. And I almost said I wasn't overly disappointed, but I shouldn't leave a film going, I wasn't overly disappointed. That's great.
Yeah, it's not a selling point for a film.
Yeah, but I wasn't disappointed at all. You know what I mean? I was satisfied. And then the other one I've got is The Mummy. The Mummy and then the last one with Jackie Chan where it's the Emperor of something. So he was...
yeah, I do remember that.
They didn't mind that either.
No, I don't. I think it was nice for them to round it off.
I'm not sure if it's 10 years.
No,
I feel like it's 8 or 9.
It's not 10 years.
But then ones that have failed, we've got Matrix. Didn't need that.
No, they really didn't. They could have just left it where it was.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
There probably are quite a few.
Yeah, I wouldn't class Jurassic Park as it, but Jurassic Park wasn't that bad to be fair. Jurassic World. You don't like them? Really?
Yeah.
Right,
I think I said this when we watched them. I didn't.
Just gonna put a pause on the horror thing for a moment. Why? I love the Jurassic Worlds. What's wrong with them?
The last one was not enough dinosaurs.
Okay, yeah.
It's Jurassic
Dominion.
Park.
Yeah, Dominion was it fell short. Dominion fell short, but the first two were good.
Yeah.
1 and Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
but that last one was weak.
Yeah,
that was weak.
I wish they would have stuck with the final one of that second one where it was it's the dinosaurs are taking over.
Yeah,
and, that would have been cool.
Better, but it fell short.
Yeah.
Okay. I have got. Oh, here we go. We've also got Countdown.
Yes.
We watched Countdown in cinema together, didn't we?
I don't think so. I think I.
We didn't. We never reviewed it. Okay, let me get your opinion first.
I like Countdown.
Yeah,
I like the concept of Countdown.
So I told you to watch Countdown then because I had it. I must have.
Maybe. Did you? No, I've seen it a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it a while ago. I like the concept. It's just what would you do? What can you do really?
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's just, I think it's an interesting concept. That's kind of the main.
I completely agree. The biggest selling point for this film is the modern spin on the horror film. The modern spin. Yeah. And then it's smart when someone has a modern spin and they can tie it to what's been done in other films.
Yeah.
So without ruining it, you know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got these things have existed for however long they have.
Yeah. And it just keeps changing to get to it. Yeah.
Even how the film ends. I watched it this morning again. Well, I watched the end of it this morning. Do you remember the very ending?
I remember the end of it.
Well, there you go. It
ends. I don't obviously want to say much else.
Well, yeah, I won't say too much either, but yeah, man, I really enjoy Countdown. I really like just the whole premise. Really spooky moments in it. Really smartly done. Also, is the jump scares were not just jump scares.
No, it's the build up to it as well. The one I always remember is the one when she's in the car. No, okay, she's in the car.
Just wondering. All right, cool.
It's not spoiled.
No. Every time she gets in the car, something's coming. Something's coming. She's in the car again. Yeah, man. Countdown's a good film. Yeah. It's a really good.
Similar one to that though. Truth or Dare.
I've seen it. I've seen it advertised. I've not seen the film. Tell me about it.
Again, just
wait a minute before we go into Truth or Dare. What's your final rating?
Oh, for Countdown.
Yeah.
I'd probably go with a 7.
a 7.
Yeah.
I ended on 7.8.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I really like it.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Like I said, it's just a nice spin on a classic kind of thing.
It's a good horror film.
Yeah.
It just gives me everything I would like from a horror film. And yeah, I just think it's well-rounded. I don't think it's earth-shattering. I'm not like 9.5.
No, but you could watch it again just because of
I could watch it every couple of years. I would always suggest it when someone says to me, I want a horror film, I go, try Countdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, Truth or Dare.
Yeah, so it's basically probably another like not a newer take on a certain thing. Obviously, it's the game Truth or Dare, but it's more of a sinister version of it.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you have to do it. There's no if, ands, or buts.
Right.
You have to do it, and you can't get out of it.
Right. I think I've seen this film.
I think you have seen it. I'm sure we spoke about it before.
Wow, I think I've seen this film years ago. Is it start off with them all around the fire?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen this film. Damn.
And I like the ending of how it resolves and stuff like that. Yeah.
Kind of remember.
Like that film, I'd give like an 8.
Really?
Yeah.
I do. You know what? I think the good thing for me, I didn't find Truth or Dare that scary. I just thought it was good.
It's good concept.
Yeah, and it was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
It's like I said, with Truth or Dare, I mentioned like Nerve before we started.
Yes.
It's entertaining. Because it's the dares, it's what they get into. It's just entertaining.
Yeah.
It's an entertaining horror. Like, what are they gonna do? Similar to like, there's another one that came out on Amazon. I was watching it over COVID.
Series.
Panic.
You
would like.
Is
Panic.
it a series?
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Yeah. What did you think of Panic?
I
Just
like
quickly.
Panic.
Yeah, I thought you
like
would.
Panic.
And that's it. When you get Truth or Dare, you got Nerve, you got Panic. It's all like, what are they gonna do? How scary is that?
You can also put yourself into it and be like, what would I do in that situation?
Yeah. Truth or Dare is all right. I can't give a
you'd need to watch it again.
Yeah, I'd have to watch it again. But from what I remember, I'm like checking my file in my brain and I'm like, I'm looking at it, it says, not sad. Oh, okay. So
it was okay,
the
but
feeling I'm getting is I enjoyed it. Yeah, I did enjoy it. Truth or Dare. And what did you finish your rating again?
On Truth or Dare, about an 8.
About an 8.
About an 8, yeah.
Okay, fair. I think that is all of my horror films. I think I've got one more left. You got a few left?
I think I'm good for horrors.
Yeah? Have you got any more family films?
Oh, there was this new one that has Marlon Wayans in it.
Oh,
that's
okay.
on Netflix. Curse of Bridge Hollow.
Yes, I've seen it. Not watched it, but I've seen it on Netflix.
Have you ever seen The Haunted Mansion?
Yes. With, don't say his name, I want to say Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Wicked, you know.
Great
little backstory. When I used to live, where I used to live, before where I used to live, 3 houses ago,
Okay.
where I used to live with my mum, the guy who used to live on our cul-de-sac, his daughter is the love interest in that film.
Oh, well.
Crazy. I remember thinking to myself, I can't wait to be famous. It never happened. Moved away and never seen any of those people again. But yeah, go on. Haunted House.
It's
Haunted Mansion.
The Curse of Bridge Hollow, but they were trying to make it like Haunted Mansion.
Doesn't surprise me.
And it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Marlon Wayans was funny in it.
Yeah,
but
classic.
You can't really expect much less from Marlon Wayans. Horror side of things, the CGI wasn't too bad with what they were doing with certain things. Don't get me wrong, there was some that you looked at and you're like, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
That's
not real CGI.
Yeah. It would be great if you're going to sit down with your family.
Yeah,
and like
easy
watch it. Just like
easy
on Halloween, just for like killing some time. I'd say rating wise, I'd probably give it a 6.
On the family scale.
Yeah.
So I think my family scale is a lot easier going than my other scale.
Yeah,
like
it's an easy watch. You know, not everyone's going to be fully invested in it. It can be just a quick and
Yeah, you can watch it with the kids and you wouldn't hate it. Yeah.
Passes the time whilst obviously you're doing whatever and stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. Marlon Wayans probably made it, but that's just because any film you put him in, he's obviously going to be funny.
It's entertaining. Yeah. Entertaining. Want to go back to, what's the house? Is it Haunted Mansion or Haunted House?
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. That's a good film.
Really good film.
That's a good film. And that treads the line of a fun plot while also being a kid's film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're nothing alike, but they're both kids' film. And it makes you think of like Shrek.
Okay.
Where it's like, Shrek's silly and entertaining for children, but the actual plot,
adults can enjoy it. Yeah. It's like having like adult jokes in like kids' films and stuff.
And you get that. You get that
all the time.
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
But do you get that in this one, Marlon Wayans one?
Maybe like
No.
once or twice.
Right.
It's not.
So what would you say lets it down? Is it the plot lets it down? Or is
Mainly
it
the plot.
Right, okay. So
Mainly the
it's not
plot.
grabbing for an adult.
No.
Right. So you
No.
would get bored of it probably.
I'd say so. Unless you
Right.
actually sat down with your family.
Right.
And like, or you had like kids that are there and, it's on. But other than that, I wouldn't, sit down to be like, I'm going to watch this 'cause it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's-
And the funny thing is, normally with kids' films kids have a lot shorter attention spans and they're often not paying attention. So a kids' film, if it like you wouldn't want it to be, you don't want to watch with a kids' film, you probably watch it over and over and over. So if it doesn't hit good the first time, you're probably never gonna go back to watching it again.
Yeah.
Okay. The last film I've got on here is The Super. So I think I mentioned it.
Is this going to be about a guy that's like somebody that takes care of a building?
Yeah.
Right.
You've seen it.
No.
But you know what a super is?
I just assumed that it'd be something like that.
Why?
I don't know.
What did the word? Why?
I'm pretty sure a super is somebody who like.
See, I've
takes care
never
of a
heard of
building.
that term
Oh,
before
really?
until I watched this film.
Okay.
But yeah, the super's good, man. The super's good. It obviously follows this guy who's became a super in a new building.
Okay.
And I always think we've had so many hotel horror films.
Yes.
But I do think the possibilities are endless. Because you've just got you can have so many different people in a hotel. And that means there's so many different characters. You could have people that are vampires, you could have people that are werewolves, you could have ghosts. Is it the hotel brings people to kill them? I'm probably saying loads of different stories of films that have been done.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show
They can be done. More can be done.
So many things can be done on it. And with this one, it's very similar. There's just a lot of creepy people in this hotel, boy. And he's just trying to do his job. He's just trying to do his job. It leads on to like a really good ending. Again, something that I really liked about Super is how it was filmed. The camera angles and the choices they use was really interesting. What's up?
Can I ask who's in it? Do you know, is it a big cast? Is there a bit of well-known actor in it or anything?
Not that I remember, no.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different film then. So I'm sure there's one with Jim Carrey where he's like a super. It's not that one?
No.
Oh, that's Cable Guy. He's not a super. Is
that a comedy?
I can't remember. I think
That
I've seen
sounds
that
like a
years
comedy.
ago. Seen it years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like it's a good film. It's a good spooky film, well shot. Trying to wonder if because obviously as an actor and doing what I do, I enjoy camera angles and stuff like that. I'm trying to think if the ordinary person would enjoy that. But it's definitely a good horror film away from that. That to me just gave it some extra brownie points.
Yeah, like they've actually took the time to invest into
some like symmetry and angles and unusual angles and all that kind of stuff. And also as well, because there's because of how it actually comes together at the end, it's actually well wrote. Yeah. I think, let me just double check. I finished on a 7.9.
Oh, okay, that is pretty high.
I feel like my ratings are really high this week because I watched horrors that I know I
Yeah,
enjoy.
they're like good horrors. So it's like, this would be a good check.
I like that one
Good
as well. Should I have some of that? Yeah, I'll have some of that.
Feeding that horror palate.
Bro, eating it up. That's going to be a horrible soundbite. That is me on film.
And that's me good as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you got a few series away, didn't you? You got a few series there.
I did get a few series.
Let's go through them,
A
man.
few series. The Midnight Club.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, did you watch it?
I didn't. I only watched like the first half of the first episode.
I think I liked it because it was like an anthology series
Okay.
where there's separate stories.
Like Mr. Harrigan's phone should have done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like, it was like ghost stories, which would have been Mr. Harrigan's phone would have fit perfectly into this.
Exactly.
So
There you go.
it's an anthology series where it's like teenagers telling each other like horror stories,
Ooh.
and then the teenagers are also in a hospice.
All right.
Yeah, so they're all terminally ill.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
dark.
It's really dark for
Wow.
like what you'd expect for a teen. Like you were saying before, how
Mm.
with teenagers it's not none of that dark.
Yeah.
This one is pretty like jumpy, scary.
Wow.
It's deep
Wow.
because obviously it's a life or death kind of situation, especially if like you're terminally ill and stuff like
yeah,
that.
of course.
I thought the acting was great. I
Mm.
think a lot of them played the part they needed to play.
Mm.
A lot of the stories, like ghost stories, is what you'd expect from like an old campfire kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah.
were really good, like ghost stories as well.
Right.
The ending lost me a little bit,
Okay.
but it came back around, and it was like, okay, I understand what they've done here.
Yeah.
I'd say for the Midnight Club, I probably ended on 8.3.
8.3.
Yeah,
That's high.
it is
bro.
really good though.
Ooh.
I can. This is one of those ones I can see why it would be in the top 10.
Yeah.
because of like how it's done,
How well it
and
is,
how like open it is, and the story. You kind of like, question yourself, being like, has that just happened? What's going on here? What's going to be the final like thing?
Yeah. Is it? So did it come to like a final ending? Because you said it was like an anthology of stories.
Yes,
but is there also
there's also
plot?
a main plot as well.
Okay.
It's mainly
that's good then. 'Cause it keeps you entertained with the scary stories.
Yeah.
While also the little
there's
bit
something out there, and what's good is because the scary stories are what they're telling each other. The main storyline is also a horror.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, you came out of the story, but obviously there's also other
out of the
things that
frying
go
pan
on.
into the fire.
Yeah, it's kind of like, like I said, you're questioning yourself constantly because you don't know, is this somebody just telling a story?
Yeah.
Or is it like, is this what's just happened? They do, at the end of it, I think they do lead it for another season.
Right.
So I think there is like a
But they didn't do it badly
teaser.
though, because you gave it 8.3.
No, they did it well.
Which is what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to, even if they do give you another season or tease another season, you want it to be like, oh yeah, I'll definitely watch that when it comes
because
out.
I was satisfied
Because I want
the
to know
first
what
time.
happens next.
Yeah. Okay. Wicked.
Yeah.
That sounds really interesting. I wanted to ask you about. So obviously, like you said, it's an anthology.
Yes.
Those different characters, stuff like that. Was it scary in your opinion?
I could see how people will find it scary. I personally didn't.
Okay.
But you know what I'm like with horrors? I assume what's going to happen before it happens.
And is that what stops it from being scary?
I think so, yeah.
For you?
Because I know what's coming. And then when it happens, I'm kind of like, well, I knew that.
Yeah, so you kind of prepare yourself for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not meant to do that when you're watching a horror. You're meant to just let yourself be engrossed in the horror.
Yeah, and that's what makes it scary, because you imagine yourself in the escapism. Right, okay. That sounds really good, man.
Yeah, I'd definitely say give it a watch. I think you'd like it.
How many episodes and how long? Is it binge-worthy? Is what
I'd say binge-worthy, yeah. Because certain ones where they'll leave it on like a cliffhanger, and you'll obviously want to watch it straight away to be like, what's happened there? I think episodes are about 45 to an hour.
Okay.
And I think there's 8 episodes.
Okay, manageable.
So, which is the same with Netflix at the minute
it's
anyway.
like day
Most
shift,
of them are, like 8 episodes or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. I'd definitely say give it a watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's another series you had then?
I was going to say The Watcher, but I think we'll leave The Watcher.
I've got 12 minutes left.
Yeah.
But so far,
it's been good.
It's been good. It's annoying because it's like, what could change in 12 minutes? The Watcher. I won't talk about how I feel like as a completed series because I can't.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, I've really enjoyed it.
I've really enjoyed it.
I've really enjoyed it. But it's based on a true story.
Yes, it is. I didn't know that until the very end.
Right, okay. It says it's based on a true story at the beginning.
I didn't see that. Maybe I was on my phone like, this is going to be shit, I don't care.
Yeah, man. You know who I do like? I like the guy, the father.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen him in so many things.
I've seen him in a lot of things.
I cannot say what it is.
Nope.
But I think it's one of the biggest roles I've seen him in. But yeah, man, it's a really good show from what I've seen.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it. With these based on true story things, you kind of go, how much of it is based?
They've done it already. Like I literally seen a thing on Facebook that was like, oh, what they've had to add to the Watcher to make
similar
it.
to what we've got with Dharma.
Yeah.
Like how much is speculated and how much is truth. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed it.
You can't really give it a final rating because you need that extra
I can give it
little
based
bit.
on how I feel.
I'd say wait.
Oh no, John Joe said it's not a good ending.
I'm not saying that.
I know this guy, you know.
I'm not saying this is not a good ending. For me, it didn't finalize anything.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would give it all the way up until this point. I would have probably said like an 8.
Right.
From the end, and it dropped down to like a 7.5. So it wasn't terrible.
Okay.
But it could have been better.
Yeah. I honestly think that I can't see, based on how I feel, I'm landing on like a 7, 8. Okay. And I don't think it will drop majorly lower than that because I've enjoyed so much of it. So even if I hated the ending, I'd go, oh, you know what? I just didn't like the ending. Yeah. And I'd never drop more than 2 or 3 points on a bad ending. Unless the ending was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ugh. But no, I've really enjoyed it so far. I really enjoyed it. I feel like everybody, all the different characters you see has been really entertaining.
Yeah, because
I love
it's
the
just
flashbacks.
confusing people. It's like the weird people. Flashbacks are good though.
Flashbacks are wicked. Yeah. So yeah, man, I look forward to seeing the last 12 minutes.
Okay, we'll come back when he's seen the last 12 minutes.
Could you imagine if he stops? All right, guys.
Okay, Mike, I watched it.
You got another one?
There was another one I watched literally straight after The Watcher called Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
So I know he's like the big zombie guy, right?
I believe so, yes. Yes,
like
or like big horror guy anyway.
Yeah. And what's it called again?
Cabinet of Curiosities.
Oh yeah, oh man, I wanted to watch this. I never got.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it literally just came out the past couple of days.
Yeah.
When I watched it yesterday, there was 2 episodes, and 2 more episodes came out today.
Right. Wow.
And then I think
she's not even finished yet.
No, I think there's 2 more again in like a couple of days, but it's an anthology series again. It's one of them when none of the stories are connected, but they are different stories and there's different takes on different things.
Goosebumps did it first.
Pretty much, yeah.
Goosebumps did it first, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. 'Cause I know you. I remember you talking to me. You said that you're going to watch American Horror Story.
Yes.
Has American Horror Story ever done that? I feel like they've been close.
Anthology?
But never, like an anthology thing where it's like separated.
No.
It's always an overlining plot, isn't it?
Every season is an anthology, if you think about it. Some of them have been connected, obviously the most recent ones, but they haven't done a main anthology one. All of the episodes are connected in a way, if I think.
Yeah.
From what I know, anyway.
Yeah, there's always like a narrative for everyone. Yeah. Okay, so what are you finishing on? Where are you up to now?
With the first episodes I've watched, I've got high hopes for it.
Oh, really?
I've got really high hopes for it because it's the acting wise, and up to now there's been some, not big actors, but actors I've seen before kind of thing. First 2 episodes, I'm not going to go really high because I still want to see what happens with the next couple of ones. Yeah. I'd probably go maybe a 5.5, just because I know it can grow more kind of thing. It's just interesting to see different stories. Yeah, it's like Black Mirror. And
well, that's Black Mirror does it really well. I think when you got different stories every time, it's refreshing. It's always going to be refreshing.
I was thinking this when I obviously seen it was anthology series. I think I prefer anthology series. I think it's the fact of you can watch one on its own. You don't have to watch a full season to get to a certain episode. You can just jump into one main episode and be like, I can watch it. It finishes. It has, great start, great end because you know the story.
You also, as well, there's no apparent need to watch it all before you forget the plot. Yeah. And as well, we talked about this a few episodes ago about when you get a series and it's like, this happened, and then they make the next series 4 years later, and you're like, I have no idea what happened 4 years ago now. I've got divorced, and you know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard to keep up with, but with an anthology series, it's just, you're just in and out. There's nothing to lose. Yeah. Maybe. And it seems like they're getting more popular.
I think they are, especially with Love, Death and Robots.
Oh, yes.
That's
to be fair,
great series.
I watched a little bit of Oat Studios.
Yes, Oat Studios just came onto Netflix. Yeah. I was going to mention Oat Studios, so I'm glad you did as well.
So you say it just came onto Netflix. Did you watch it elsewhere?
Oat Studios? Yeah, it was on YouTube.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it started on YouTube first.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Because it's, I'm sure it's like a production company that did it and stuff, and then obviously they must have sold it to Netflix or whatever.
But the funny thing is, though, with Oats, see, this is the danger then of anthologies then, because I haven't seen that many. If you get a series of bad ones, you start to wonder, is it going to get good again? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I suppose that's a good thing about an anthology series. You don't have to waste your time watching a full series. If you obviously have a bad episode and maybe another bad episode, there's only that chance. There's always going to be a chance that the next one that comes out is going to be amazing because it's a new idea. It's again got that start and the end, and it's finalized. It's finished.
I know, but I always think I'm just worried that like I watch one now. It's like I watch a series, it's 9, and I like 2, and it was 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end. I'm fuming,
Yeah,
I'm fuming, and see. You know, with a series, you're gonna as soon as you're in depth with the characters, once you connect to the characters, you're gonna follow it, and you're probably gonna enjoy it more because you're connected to those characters. Yeah. The danger with an anthology is every single time they restart connections, and there's also as well, it's got to get to the punch quicker. You know what I mean? It's like snap jokes. The punchline's got to be good every time.
And especially if they do it numerous times as well, it has to keep doing it.
There's a risk there. There's a risk there that I've never considered. And that's why I knew that, because with Oat Studios, there's a few that didn't hit home for me.
Yeah, I think I've only really seen a couple of them. I think I've only really seen the first one, which I liked, just the whole like alien idea and stuff like that.
I've seen about 6.
Really?
But I did bang them out because they're only like 12 to 15 minutes
really
long.
short.
So I just I watched like 4, 5 and a half in like 45 minutes. But no, Oat Studios is okay. It is a little. It's horror-y stuff. I don't think I would.
No, I think it's more thought-provoking.
Yeah, yes, it is. It is sci-fi thought-provoking, definitely.
Yeah.
What you got next?
I started Midnight Mass.
Okay.
From what I've heard for people say about it and it being like amazing, and everyone's saying like, "Oh, make sure you watch this and stuff."
Never came out of my mouth.
No, but I've heard other people say it, obviously.
Okay, this is
And it's
like,
like,
sure.
after watching Finishing Midnight Club, it was one of those like recommended things that came up. And if you like search it, it does say like, oh, if you've watched Midnight Club, watch this because it's so much, it's like a lot better or whatever.
And you know what I've noticed Netflix is starting to do as well, which is very sly Netflix, is they'll go, it won't be a Netflix original, but it'd be like only on Netflix, for example. So maybe a Netflix exclusive. And there will be like loads of actors that are in this one.
Yeah.
Then there'll be loads of actors that are in that one and loads of actors in that one. Well, obviously, the world is all made along like Netflix's line.
Yeah.
And then it'll go, if you like this, you'll like this. And it's like, hold on. You're just literally saying, you like my stuff, you should watch more of my stuff. And if you like my stuff, you should watch more of my stuff.
Right, but they're not going to be like, oh, if you like this, go to Amazon, watch this one.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's annoying because I'm thinking to myself, okay, I like that. And that was great. And those actors are in that. And that's great. And it also says, oh, you like this film or this series because those actors are in it again. And it's like, no, I might not. Because
no,
it's a completely
you like the story.
different story.
You don't,
I don't mind the suggestions, but when it says, oh,
it's the same thing or it's the same people rather than.
I just don't think you can sell something always on an actor. Sometimes, like, don't get me wrong, Tom Hanks or Denzel Washington, I'm probably going to sit in the seat because I'm curious to see them.
Yeah.
But not just every single Netflix actor in every single Netflix horror thing am I interested in, man. Oh. Yeah. Ran over. Go on, as you were saying.
Yeah, Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to keep watching it.
After the first one episode.
2 episodes in? Episode and a half.
I'm trying to think when it gets good. It don't get good till like 4 or 5, Yeah, from what I remember. And then it gets good and doesn't stay good. It's not an awful series, but you would have thought, ooh, this is really like the premise, like how it sets it up, the village, they run on a fishing island, it's just them. It looks and sounds like it's scarier than it actually is. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just keep watching it just because everyone said, like a lot of people have said it's so good or whatever. No?
Bro, I just don't know if you need to watch it like that.
Wow, okay.
Like,
maybe I'll stop there. Maybe I'll just leave it.
Bro, because in my opinion, I enjoyed it to an extent.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it because of the little bits and bobs that are in it. I don't think you'd enjoy those elements as
if
much
you
as
could
me.
go back and tell yourself not to watch it because it's a waste of time, would you?
No.
Right, okay.
No, but I don't think you would enjoy it. Not as much as I did. And I think if you're going to enjoy it any less than I did, you're wasting your time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, man.
I might have to contemplate that one.
Give it 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll talk to you off mic and I'll give you some of the spoilers a little bit. Give you a bit more backstory.
Right, okay.
Because obviously I don't want to ruin it at all for people.
Yeah.
But for yourself, I can give you a little bit more and go, look, this is where it's going. Let me know. And you could go, oh, that sounds entertaining.
Okay. Look forward to that. Okay.
Speaking of, I remember you said that you're going to mention Blythe Manor.
Yeah, that was like a big hit for everyone, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was it? Blythe Manor and Hill House.
Hill House is the first one. Blythe Manor is the second one.
That was a massive hit for everyone.
Bro, they're good horror series,
I think they were really good.
Good horror series. And Hill House is spooky, bruv.
It is spooky.
Oh my God. No.
Especially the ending.
Yeah. Oh, bro, the ending's cold,
The crooked lady.
Yo, bro.
Crooked neck lady, sorry.
Yeah. Smart, bro. Oh, nah. Because I'm not
going to... So, you know a film hits, or like, a film has got to you when, the whole sleep paralysis thing?
Yeah.
I'd never had that before.
Oh, did you?
And I'm sure I dealt with it once after watching that series. Don't know how.
That's the title of the podcast, this episode. What in Hill House gave John Joe sleep paralysis? It's a bit long. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's a bit long. It's not really to the point, is it?
Just going to be ... on Spotify. Waste of time.
But yeah, it's like you're experiencing it because you're obviously so delved into it,
bro,
and it's gripping you, and you're kind of like, okay, I need to keep watching it.
Yep.
I did like that, both of those. I think Haunting of Hill House was better than Blythe Manor.
Don't agree.
Really?
Yeah. You know what? Let me put it this way. Better, yes. Preferred, no.
Oh.
So I think Hill House is, as a collective, it's a better series. But I enjoyed Blythe Manor more. Hill House is I love the stuff about in every episode. If you rewatch it in every episode, there's a new ghost you see.
Really?
You don't know about that?
No.
So I watched the first 2 episodes and then I end up rewatching the whole thing again, and I did see more ghosts.
I suppose that's where you're looking though. If you've already looked in one area, you're gonna obviously look somewhere else.
But it's amazing that they did that.
Yeah.
They've laid it with different.
Yeah, to say
ghosts.
like, oh, if you've seen one ghost, somebody else has seen a different ghost.
Bro, the ghost that I saw the second time, I was like, how did I miss that?
Wow.
Bro, the ghost is big and it's massive, and I was like, how did I miss that?
Maybe I need to rewatch it then.
Oh, bro, but yeah, Hill House is wicked, really good plot, scary. Every single episode is scary. But then I think Blythe Manor, I just enjoyed that story more.
Yeah.
I think it might be that where I was personally. I watched Hill House a little bit. It was like I didn't watch it all at once. Kind of like watched it bits and bobs.
Right. Okay.
But with Blythe Manor, I think I finished it all in like 3 days. So I just think I just connected with it more. But I do like that. Like without ruining it, I like where it's what happens in it, where it goes, how it unfolds,
how it develops, and just like, okay, this is interesting because this is happening.
And I think that plot. I just enjoyed that plot more.
Maybe it is the whole like different place thing. Then I think I connected more with
the
Haunted Hill House, than the other one.
They're meant to be making a third.
Really?
Hot take. I think so. Yeah. I knew that they were making Blythe Manor years before it came out because a friend of mine auditioned for a role in it, and he was like, "Oh, I just auditioned for the new." Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, they're making a second one." Something that I did do. This might be another reason as well. Is the number that the little girl calls. Do you know about this?
No.
The number that the little girl calls, or they say a number. Yeah, you can get the number of the house. He gives the number to her dad. If you call that number on your phone, it answers. And the little girl answers and she's like, "Hello." It's spooky as hell, bro. I'd love to try it now, but I don't think it still does it.
Yeah.
Just close the phone lines. Well, at the time I was like, "Oh my God, this is so scary."
Okay, that's pretty interesting. But I think a lot of like things have done that because it's just an automated. Like,
it gives it it's a good advertisement as well.
Yeah.
Because they've said, I think that they put an advertisement in the paper for the house. So people were like, "What?" And
why is this? Yeah.
Spooky, bro.
That's interesting.
Is that all you got for horror series?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Hey guys, you probably noticed that, well, things look a little bit different. And if you haven't noticed it looks a little bit different, then you're probably listening and you should come see how different it looks. But it probably sounds different too. That is because we're in an incredible studio. It is Soup Studios. Hopefully this may be our new home, and I really hope it will be. But it's an incredible studio with some incredible people. Shout out to the dude over there that you can't see. But yeah, man, we love it here. And I think if you're looking to start a podcast or do a podcast or a new space, definitely check it out. Again, you can get the information at the bottom. And we might even put it here. If we don't put it here, it's just me doing this for no reason. But we'll see.
Such an awkward.
This is meant to be my little thing, man.
I apologize.
But there you go, guys. Check it out. Bye. Okie dokie then. So in this true field of Halloween and everything horror,
yes,
I've got a few questions for you.
Yes.
So first of all, what would you say the best solo horror film is, in your opinion?
Solo film? Do you mean just like a film,
standalone,
horror film on its own?
Standalone.
Us comes to mind.
Oh, I never thought of Us and stuff like that.
Mind. And what's the one? The What's in the Box thing.
What's in the Box?
Is that 7?
Oh, you call it a horror film?
I would say that's a horror, yeah. It's all about
such
like
an interesting concept of horrors.
It's like about gluttony and like you know the 7 deadly sins kind of thing.
I would say that's like a psychological thriller.
I'm saying horror. If you put something of the body in a box, I'm classing it as a horror.
But then there's so many like crime films where stuff like that happens. You're just saying that anything gory is horror-y. See what I mean? Like, well, yeah, Saw is a horror, to be fair. Saw is a horror. I was going to say Saw.
Maybe I need to look at the definition. Not definition of horror. Maybe I need to look at like 7 and see if it is classed as a horror. I would say it's a horror.
I've got like psychological thriller, maybe mystery / crime. That's what I would say it is.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good film, though.
Yeah.
Great film. I've got mine as like Mama.
That was a good film. I think I gave that a really high rating when we watched that.
It was quite early on in our.
Yeah, it really was because it's an old film now. Yeah, I think the storyline was really good with that. It was an interesting take on like the whole feral children side of things. And,
scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
Well, no.
I can't wait. I've got a question about that. I can't wait to get to it. But I think generally people will say it's scary.
Okay.
Now, there's been loads of horror films. And the funny thing is I didn't even look at Nope and stuff, but Nope and like Us and Get Out, I think they're good films. But when it comes to a hearty horror, I don't think they're that horror-y.
No.
Yeah.
So are you talking more about like entities and like?
Well, it's just
Devil. Have you seen that film?
Oh, with the elevator.
The Elevator, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good film, but I like films that are like closed to like such a small amount of people.
Yeah. Or like, so you like films where it's like they're all in one place, like Saw 1.
Yeah. Yeah, because I like the concept of that, and it's the whole thing of what would you do in that situation.
Yeah.
And in that situation, there's nothing you really can really do.
It's a sticky situation, you know. It's a sticky situation. Yeah, with horror, I just mean like a horror film, and like I guess for me, because I love horror so much, I look at it and go, okay, that is So for example, you got genres, right?
Yeah.
Genres are usually put in order of what they are most. So if you got like an noir film, it's usually going to be crime first, then like mystery, and then whatever else.
Yeah.
So I always take it quite seriously that the genres are. So you look at sci-fi film, it's going to be sci-fi first, then thriller, or sci-fi horror.
Okay, so it
more
encapsulates so many different ones, but the one that's first is like the most.
It's mostly
and then
percentages. Yeah. That's how I imagine it is. It'd be really silly if something was like sci-fi, fantasy, drama, kid, and it's a very childish film. Because then I'd think to myself, okay, it's got a kid in the drama, but I thought it'd be more sci-fi than it is a kid's film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If it could be. But I'm not 100% sure that's how it works, but that's how I imagine it. So based off that, I'm looking at hearty horrors, and that's why I said Mama, because I think with Mama, it's just got everything you should get from a horror film.
Yeah.
Good backstory, super duper scary points throughout the film.
Yeah. Especially when she goes into the kids' room as well.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Throughout. That bit in the corridor, where she's like at the end of the corridor, and then something happens. Oh my gosh.
I don't maybe I need to rewatch it again. Yeah. It's been a while since
That's literally the scariest part of the film. And now I know you truly were not scared by that film if you don't remember that bit.
There's one that came to mind though when you were saying the whole like genre thing. Drag Me to Hell.
You know what? I just don't think it's a good film.
Really?
Yeah.
So I watched it not recently, but a couple months back.
Maybe it's the special effects, or maybe I found it a little bit corny.
Was corny.
But what I think I do like about Drag Me to Hell was like I like the ending.
Yes,
that's what I liked. I like the ending, and I felt like the ending. If the whole film had that quality,
it would have been.
That final sequence was really good.
Yeah,
and I think I would have enjoyed all the film if it came with that amount of like hard hitting.
I think Drag Me to Hell is the same as I Am Legend. You know how like I Am Legend has two endings? I'm sure Drag Me to Hell does. Yeah, I think there's. Obviously, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to ruin either ending.
Here's the endings for you.
Yeah. But I'm sure it has the like straight to DVD one or like the movie one. So there's two different takes on it.
I didn't know that.
I'm sure it is.
I have to ask you about that because I only know of one ending.
Yeah.
Interesting. On to the next question is going to standalone.
Yes.
So then I said double. So I mean by two-parter. They're not necessarily connected, but there's only two films. I'll go first.
Yeah, because I can't think of any.
I've got Sinister. What?
I like Sinister.
What?
Yeah. Is that the one with
Ethan Hawke?
Yes.
You don't like Sinister?
No, not that I remember.
Okay, so it's about he finds the DVDs in his attic.
Yes.
You don't like that film?
No.
But I think it's my all-time.
I think there's a scary movie that takes the mick out of it.
Okay.
Or like one of the haunted film. It's the film with Marlon Wayans, I think.
Yeah, they made like a newer version of Scary Movie. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. It's called Haunted House, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Because I know it takes to make out like
Paranormal Activity and
And that put you off Sinister?
I think so. Because it just made it just funny. Like you look at it and you just go, he's an idiot.
I'm trying to think though, because Paranormal 3 scared me senseless, man. Scared me senseless. You were there for that.
Is that the one with the OAPs?
Bro. Little bit of backstory. The film scared me a lot. I was very vocal throughout the cinema. Screaming things, particularly at the older characters in the film.
FOAPs.
FOAPs, bro. I was going to say, still FOAPs, but that's weird. Sound like that's like Trump, like, that's FOAPs. But no, that's not, the internet's got that now anyway. But yeah, man. I really like Sinister 1 and 2. Yeah.
I didn't know there was two.
Yeah, 1 and 2, man.
I only thought it was 1.
1 and 2. It was going to be Insidious, but Insidious has got more films than that.
I was going to say it's got numerous parts, though.
Yeah, and if I could pick 1 and 2 of Insidious, it's stronger than Sinister 1 and 2. Okay. But I wanted it to be
just the double.
Just a double.
I don't have one then. I can't think of any that are just double. Like I've got so many that are like numerous, sequels and stuff like that, but nothing's for double.
So what would you say if it didn't have to be only 1 and 2? What would you say? What 2 films would you do? 1 and 2, or out of any series of films?
Don't know.
Don't know.
No.
See, I think I was gonna say what was I gonna say? I was gonna say The Grudge. I was gonna say The Grudge.
Okay.
because the Grudge would have been in there. I don't think it would have been better than Insidious, but it might have been the same.
Like same
Sinister.
Yeah.
It would have been similar, should I say? Yeah, it would have been same as Sinister. Yeah, because the Grudge 1 and 2 is pretty good. The Ring, solid.
Again,
Never seen these.
no.
Rings up there as well, man.
I think
The
I've seen
Rings.
the most recent Ring, which was
The
like
most recent Ring.
yeah, there was a new one that came out.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
I saw the most recent Grudge. They made a new Grudge film.
No,
You
I'm
get
sure.
them
I'm
mixed
sure
up?
it's the Ring. Yeah, I'm sure it's the.
What? Give me a rough story of what happens in this film then.
Wait, no, you might be
The
right.
Grudge, bro.
It might be the Grudge.
The Grudge, bro. Definitely the Grudge.
I don't think I've seen any of the Rings then.
The Ring's good, you know.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen.
It's
them.
old now. But see, this is the funny thing. It's old, but I think it's aged quite well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really like The Ring.
suppose you want that from a horror, really,
Yeah,
because you won't be able
bro.
to come back to it and be like, oh, it can still scare me, or
Yeah, I wonder though. I wonder if someone who hasn't seen it would agree, or is it just me thinking, oh, it scared the crap out of me when I was younger? and I really like
yeah,
it, but-
again nostalgia,
yeah,
but for a different reason.
Yeah, of course. It just
Yeah.
same frights. But yeah, I'd say Sinister 1 and 2 for my
Okay.
two-parter. Onto then, I got final one on that trilogy. I struggled with this.
I got a few.
Okay.
I think you can class it as a trilogy.
Mm.
Hannibal Lecter.
Ooh.
You know, like Silence of the Lambs.
Big contender, bro.
Yeah.
Well done. That is a good shout.
Yeah.
Great shout.
But again, I don't know if it's horror or psychological or thriller.
No, it's definitely horror.
You think?
Yeah. It might change towards the end of the series of films, but the first one, Silence of the Lambs, is definitely horror.
Okay.
I'm fairly
Can't do that
confident
one
on that.
You probably won't know this one. The Cube. You ever seen The Cube?
No, bro. I've seen the show. People in the
No,
box
there's
with. Nah, I don't need to know. Don't Irrelevant.
there's 3 films. I
Yeah.
believe there's 3. It's either 3 or 4. These people, just random people, get put in this cube, like a box,
Right.
and every single room they go to is different.
Oh,
So like it's like an escape room kind of thing,
right.
or like survival of the fittest.
That's a good film, by the way. Escape Room.
Yes, that is a great film.
Yeah, but go on. Cube.
Second one wasn't great, but
Nah,
Oh,
look,
really?
yeah,
Yeah.
it dipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good concept because it's the whole thing of what would you do in that situation. This is what I like about horrors. I think I like the whole thing of looking at it and going, what would I do there?
Is that so? You must like Saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that,
Saw
so.
was good, and then it just went on for too
Just
long.
dropped off.
Saw is the Fast and Furious of horrors.
Yeah,
It is, isn't it? When
Yeah.
you think about it,
Yeah.
it actually is.
yeah, it goes on for way
1, 2,
too long.
3, 4, 5. Did we get 6? Or
I think
did that
we
when it
got
became
6.
Spiral?
I think it got
and
6 and then
Jigsaw?
Spiral. Yeah,
They've done Spiral, Jigsaw, then they're going to be called Jig. Yeah, man. But the Cube,
The Cube. Yeah, I think you'd like
it's a
it.
trilogy.
I believe there's 3. Yeah,
Wow.
they're all. Yeah, I think there's 3.
When did they come out?
They're really old. I think it's like
Really?
1999,
When did you last watch them?
2000. Recently, actually.
Okay, good. Because
Recently.
after this debacle we had,
The first one's definitely better than the ones after that
Okay.
precede it. But it's just a good concept. It's the whole thing of like, how are you gonna like do you work together to try and get out of this cube?
Yeah.
Who's put them in the cube?
Right.
Like, how are we gonna
Remind
get
me
out
of
of
The
that?
Circle.
It is a bit like The Circle.
But The Circle is a bit weak.
Yeah, because it just goes on.
Yeah,
It's
it
kind of them
goes
just
round.
speaking and
I'm
stuff.
going to say it goes round in a circle.
You are not wrong.
Yeah, The Cube sounds way more interesting.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. I
I
think
like the
it's just
escape room.
survival.
ones.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
fair. Okay.
There was another one I thought of. Jeepers Creepers. Did you ever see Jeepers Creepers?
Of course, I've
Yeah.
never seen Jeepers Creepers. Of course I have.
Creepers.
Scared the crap out of me, the first one.
Really?
Bro, get the crap. I remember watching that, man, because it's not. It's fine.
Horror memory unlocked.
Yeah, bro. Ka-ching, like an Xbox. I thought I had the best trilogy then, but the last 2 are definitely not horror films. I was
What
going
were
to
you
say, Riddick. Because Pitch Black, horror film. Then the second one's an action film, and then the third, and action sci-fi, and the third one's an action sci-fi. So it's definitely not.
No.
What were you going to say? Yeah, Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers
we were talking
Creepers.
about.
Yeah.
You know what? I've not seen the third one. The first 2 are silly, but they're all right.
Yeah.
They
Like
are
they
what
can
they are.
make you jump. They can have the scary points kind of
yeah.
thing.
I think they aged well as well.
Yeah. I think again you can go back to it.
Give
and
me
be
that
like,
like Freddy Krueger and Jason. It's like they're like silly films, and it's a bit far fetched, but you enjoy them for what they are.
yeah,
They're
especially if you're
entertaining
like a
horror
die-hard
films.
fan as well. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, I'll go back and watch it because it's
Yeah.
good seeing them. And
What would you say your best one is then? What do you think? Out of all the ones you mentioned, what would you say the best trilogy is out of those couple?
I'm going to say Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, I'm going to say those films. Just
Solid.
'cause I think he suits the role so well,
Mm,
and there's so
Anthony
many different
Hopkins
like
smashed
concepts
it.
to it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say I want to say The Grudge, but I'm on. The funny thing, what's annoying about The Grudge is because because it was Japanese first,
Yeah.
and then they made the new one with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes.
Sarah
Michelle Gellar,
yeah. They then kind of like started kind of going off, and you got like The Grudge 1, The Grudge 2, The Grudge 3. But then you've got The Return, but it's not done by the same people. It's just the same character.
Okay, so it's like a reprisal kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's redone, so it could be classed as a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think they're pretty good. Because particularly the first 2 are wicked. And then even the third one's got a decent little plot. And there's a really good, like the story behind it. Because even in the third one, they were smart enough to tie the first one into it and make sense of it.
Oh, right, okay.
And I always think that's really smart. When a film comes out and it's one film and they're like, oh, we don't know if this is going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then 20 years later, or 10 years or 3 years later, they go, oh, we got an idea for this. Okay. And they got it. And then they go, and we're going to explain this as well. It's like they're smart enough to explain.
I think a lot of films do that now, though. So like, just in case
badly.
they get, yeah, most times it's done badly.
So I thought that's what I like about I think that's true. That's my favorite horror trilogy, without a doubt.
Okay.
Next question for you. What's the first horror you ever watched?
I was thinking about this. First horror I've probably seen. It was either one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, Child's Play / Chucky.
Yeah.
Or Leprechaun.
I've heard of Leprechaun.
Heard of Leprechaun? Yeah. They're so bad.
Let's talk about Leprechaun.
They're so bad, but they're so funny. So for people who don't know what Leprechaun is, it's
me.
Wow. Selective ginger.
What? Wow. I said I don't know what the film is, bro.
Wow.
This is not an attack on the ginger people. I said I don't know what the film is.
Leprechaun is basically about a leprechaun who like is a bit of a
bad person.
Yeah, a bad person. Just gonna maybe.
Let's use that word instead.
Yeah, bad person. And it's kind of like the whole, pot of gold kind of thing, and people trying to get his pot of gold, and him just going on like a massacre.
Is this a bad film?
Killing people. It is really bad.
Okay, good.
It is really,
doesn't sound good.
It's really, really bad.
Okay.
I'm sure Snoop Dogg's in one of them,
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I'm sure he's in one of them. I think it's
films,
the third one.
I know. Oh.
I think there's like 4 or 5.
When he's like squeezing rappers into late.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
But yeah, if you want a funny watch Leprechaun.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I'm sure it was the 90s again.
Did it
or
scare
it was like
you?
80s. No.
When you were
I was just
How old were you?
Probably when I first seen it, like 9.
Wow. But you didn't find it scary?
No.
It's
just funny. He's like...
See, I watched Chucky when I was quite young, and I'm trying to remember if that scared me. I think it was unusual. I'd even go as far to say unnerving, but I don't think I found it scary.
No, Chucky isn't scary.
Yeah, but as a kid, it's scarier because it's a doll and
Yeah.
stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did find it a little bit. Oh, that's creepy, but I don't find it scary. The first horror film I watched as a kid was Alien 1 and 2.
Okay.
Scared.
Did they scare you?
Bro, Alien, bro. But Alien's one of the greatest horror films of all time.
Bro,
don't
it's sci-fi,
do this.
innit?
Bro, it's sci-fi horror.
Okay.
It's 100% sci-fi horror.
Just like life, then.
Oh, funny. First film you ever reviewed?
It was.
Yeah, first film you ever reviewed.
It's a good callback.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It scared the crap out of me,
Really?
boy. Big way. Yo, I remember I watched 1 and 2 back to back.
Yeah.
It's 8, 9, maybe even 7. Young, bro. Really young. Sounds weird. I was too young for this. And I watched him, and I remember like just being terrified. I remember I went home to my bunk bed, and I remember like how my bunk bed was. My door used to open like that. People in the audio like what?
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
Like what?
Come to the video.
But yeah, it's like so I was in my bunk bed. Door was in front of me, and the door used to open like that.
Right.
And when the door opened, I just kept thinking I'm just going to see that long head just come out. Bro, I remember I got in bed at must have been about 10:30. Nah, probably even earlier than that. I think it's 9:15.
Okay.
Got in bed at 9:15, 9 p.m. obviously, and I didn't go to sleep till at least 6 a.m. Until it was light outside, I was awake. Cause I just remember I was just like, bro, I was terrified. So yeah, that was the first horror film I ever watched. On to the next question then. What's was it the first? I guess it. Yeah. The next question was, what is the first horror film that scared you? Don't you dare, don't you dare. Bro, this is nonsense. You're saying you've never ever been scared of a horror film?
No,
ever.
I can think of.
Really?
Scared? No. Made me jump. Obviously, the only one.
What's the closest you've been to scared? You just said jump.
But that's not scared. That's surprised.
Bro, you are you're like, what's the word? You're splitting feathers there, bro. Don't know if that's a term.
Splitting hairs.
There we go. You're splitting hairs. That is, you can say, I was surprised.
Right, no, because think about Pet Sematary. How we said about obviously the
Bro,
beginning of it.
The
It's not
truck,
scary.
the truck scared me though. That's why we jumped. You don't jump out of pleasure. Whee! Do you know what I mean? It was, so if you have to put it like this then, what was the first film you jumped at majorly? I still can't believe you've never been scared of a horror film ever.
No.
But then
Maybe. No, because I found it funny. No, I was gonna say Insidious. You know when the red face.
Yeah.
But again, I just thought I didn't scare me.
So you've never been
Wow.
ever
Not
horror
that I can
films
think of,
never
no.
like you could never ever.
Like I said, I anticipate it coming, and then I
Even at a
suppose
young age, John could see where it was going. At the age of 10, he'd already figured out most films. Go on.
yeah, it's the whole thing of like having an answer for it before it comes.
Knowing it's coming kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I watched a lot of films when I was younger. A fair few horror films. Like I remember watching like AVP, and I found that quite creepy. But then I think because my mum loved films,
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I came across so many like horror films when I was younger. I think the first film that truly terrified me, obviously Alien scared me, but like the scariest film I've ever seen at the time was The Grudge. You were there for
Really?
that as well.
I was there for that.
Bro, I hyperventilated.
So funny.
Hyperventilated
So funny.
in a crowd of like, it's literally like
Oh.
somebody seeing a teen film.
Yeah,
It's a sleepover, wasn't it? It's like a sleepover, like slash
It was just how you're
gathering.
like curled up in a ball.
Bro.
Yeah, that was
You know how I know that
so funny.
really messed me up? Because like trauma is because like, first of all, like I remember like a few years ago, Alana went to the shower, she came out the shower and
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
all like, so all her hair was just black and obviously she just showered, it was just all long and black. And obviously I just walked into the back of her head and I was just like, yo, I was like, bro. So that one thing I know, because that was only about 3 or 4 years ago that happened. Then there was, then I actually watched all the Grudge films. I thought, like, this is it. I'm going to just bash these out. I'm going to finish
Get over
them.
the fear. Not gonna be that scary.
The opposite happened, bro. Every single time I saw, like, any white object with black on top of it in a dark room, I was like, that's Grudge. For at least 6 months. I kept seeing The Grudge for months. Yeah, man. Great horror film. Great horror film.
Yeah.
On to the next question then. To be fair, I think that's all of them.
Yeah,
First
I
all
was
that's
gonna say,
good.
I think
Yeah.
that-
I'm gonna do some honorable mentions just
Okay.
for people like, if it's Halloween, you got a horror film to watch.
Yeah.
I've got what's out in cinema right now that we've not seen yet. That I think is gonna be great. Is The Barbarian. You've seen it,
I've not seen it.
but you know of it.
Apparently, it's
It's
terrible.
weak. Oh no!
Like really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it.
No, yeah, like ridiculously bad.
Damn.
Mm.
Okay, maybe not. I was gonna say Megan. You said Megan.
Yes, this is
That modern new
similar
Chucky.
to Chucky.
Yeah.
But more automate.
Is it a robot?
Autonomon?
Automated.
No, there's a word for like a robot person.
Automated.
Autonomon. Something like that. That's so annoying.
Go Autonomon.
It's not Digimon.
Or Pokemon.
But yeah, it's basically the whole thing of this AI robot thing, like protecting this girl,
Okay.
but like horror wise.
Too
So-
much protection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've also got obviously Insidious 1 and 2. I've said them. I've got The Curse of La Llorona.
Okay. I never got around to seeing that.
Oh, bro, get the crap out of me again.
Really?
Yeah. Curse of La Llorona was a scary film, man.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Bro, I honestly have no faith in you finding it scary. But the people
I
who
want to
enjoy
watch it. I do want to watch it.
yeah, it was. Oh, yeah, man, it was. I actually remember, like, I did actually watch it through my fingers.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I was like, bro, for real. And I think that's the last time I've done that. Since then, I don't think I've done it very much.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was proper like, yo, that's really, really scared me, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And The Babadook.
Again, not seen it.
That's a really good horror. That's a good standalone film, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's better than Mama, but it's a good. I think they made. When I was younger, I was going to say they made better horrors back then, but obviously it's all about being scared, and I think it was easy to get scared when I was younger.
Yeah. Is the Babadook the one that looks like a penguin wearing a top hat?
Semi.
Yeah. Okay.
Ruin that film for everyone now. Not spoiler wise, just like you're just going to go, it is a penguin with a top hat. So no one will find that scary, no. I also had as well, what just came into my brain, literally came into my brain and left my brain, The Conjuring.
Okay.
The first three,
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
That is the best horror trilogy, but there's more than 3 now.
Did we go and see The Devil Made Me Do It?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No, I don't think we did.
didn't.
I didn't like that film.
Yeah, it fell off, man. The first 3 were really good, you know. The first one in that house, the second one where it's like in it's in London, in Enfield.
Yeah.
That was really good. It's an old man. And then there's a third one, I think it's back in America again. And then this one was weak. This one was weak.
There is one that's making the rounds at the minute, which is called, it's either the Terrifier or the Petrifier.
Oh, they're confident in that name, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm sure it's like the Terrifier.
Yeah.
Basically, I think it's like a mime clown kind of person,
Oh.
but as like a demon and it's like dead evil or something. And I think people like walking out the cinema or
Really?
like turned it off if they were watching at home. I can't remember, but I know that's making its round at the minute.
You've seen Smile as well, right?
Not seeing Smile yet, no.
Have you not?
No.
Okay.
No, I keep putting it off because of like reviews I've heard.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's better things to see.
Yeah.
But maybe not the Barbarian at this rate, though.
Yeah.
Because Smile was okay at best. If this is bad, then yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's really bad.
Any other horrors you suggest?
I not that I can think of. Again, horrors, I'm not the best person to come through to for horrors because
there's no such thing as a horror to John Joe. There you go. You've been listening to the Z double Z. As if that's going to do it last week. No, that's for another time. You have been listening, you've been watching 6 Second Critics, the podcast. Thank you. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You see, you just realised what I did, didn't
you did. Just realised what you did.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. You can get all our information at the bottom. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and also get back to us about how you feel about the podcast, what you like, what you don't like. We'll all take that in and do what we can with it. This is the People's Film and TV Review Podcast, and we want to do it for people, and you are the people, so tell us what you think. Thank you very much. Bye-bye for now.